up, peeps? This is LA Knight, and I am back to sort of rock your world with my December TBR / stuff I need to do this month because reasons. So, my November wrap-up was a little long, so that's why I'm splitting this up into 2 videos. Also, I'm still getting used to this headset, so just FYI, that's why, like, my audio quality might be, like, going woo a little bit, because, my microphone, I'm still trying to figure out the perfect place to put my microphone. And I haven't managed to figure that out yet. So, now I'm trying to be a little less, what's the word? Oh, I can't think of the word. Ambitious, I think? Reckless, maybe? Ridiculous, asinine, I don't know. With my goals for this month, because last month I had all the goals and met, like, half of them. So, the thing that I want to do is the books that I have already started, I want to finish them. And then there are a few other books that I want to read, that I want to try to finish before the end of the month. Because I do have this habit of starting things and not finishing them when I want to. But, you know, like, rules are made to be broken, schedules are for schmucks. No, they're not. I need to learn how to stick to a schedule, I'm terrible. So, books I've started already that I'm gonna finish this month, I'm hoping. Here's hoping, cross your fingers! Dampier by Barb Hendy. I really like it, but it's written in such a way that, like, I can't just sit through it and read it. Like, you know, just sit down and read it, but I want to, because the series has, like, 15 books in it, and I have, like, 12 of them. And you're probably wondering why I have them all, or at least so many of them, if I haven't even finished the first book yet. And, the answer is because I got them at the library sale. Actually, I got the first 5 or 6 from Lorien, because she got them, like, super cheap, but then she, like, didn't read them, and they sat on her shelf for forever, and she ran out of room, and so she's like, do you want these? And I'm like, yes! Because it's from Rock Publishing, who did the Black Jewels series, which I love, and they also did Blood Angel, which I also love, but is not as good as, Black Jewels. Blood Angel's a little dark. But I guess that's, like, what Rock is known for, I guess. I'm not sure. Anyway, I want to finish Everland by Wendy Spinelli, which is a steampunk Peter Pan retelling with plague in it. And I mean that literally, not, like, facetiously like it sucks. It doesn't suck. There's literally one of the plot elements is that there's a plague. Wendy is a online friend, and I bought her book when it came out because it sounded really great, but then I just never got around to reading it, so I eventually got my hands on the audiobook, and I started it, and I binged the first half, so, like, 6 hours, 5 hours of the book in, like, one day, literally in one sitting, but I think that might have been a mistake, because the book's really dark, so I had to stop, and that was, like, 4 months ago, 4 months, good grief, 4 weeks ago, that was, like, at the beginning of November, so, I've needed a break because it was just so dark. Home from the Sea by Mercedes Lackey, which is one of her elemental mages. It's number 7. I reread 1 through 5. Skipped number 6 because number 6 is creepy and weird, and not in a good way. I don't like it. It's because all the books are fairy tale retellings. I've read retellings of this fairy tale before that are done way better. I don't know. I thought that the love interest lacked luster, and I thought that there's just a lot in the book that it's not even that it sucked. It just wasn't, like, great, and I remember enough of it that I don't feel the need to reread it. Although I did like there was a twist on the story that I liked, but it's like one small thing and a big thing, and it's anyway not the point. I liked that there was no rape in it because it's based on a fairy tale that's about rape, so. You know, that was cool that she managed to pull that off. But I skipped that one and went straight to Home from the Sea, which is sort of like The Little Mermaid, except with Selkies in Wales. Sort of. Like, it's called a retelling of The Little Mermaid, but it's not really. I've started The Iron Thorn. I'm gonna finish it. I tried reading it, like, the actual hard copy. I just don't have time. But I have the audiobook, because I was hoping that, like, by trying to boost the sales of the audiobooks for the first and second book, they'd actually make an audiobook for the third book, which I haven't read yet. It's been sitting on my shelf for, like, literally 5 years. I just haven't read it because I haven't, like, enough time went by that I needed to reread the other 2 books, and I've been putting off rereading the second book because one of my favorite characters dies, and I know that the point of the third book is to try to bring them back to life, but that's not even the point. I don't know that I can go through that again. At least anytime soon. People keep dying and I can't take it. Also, the brother is a douchebag and I want him to get hit by a bus. Oh god. Or die. I want him to die in the third book, and I'm pretty sure he's not gonna, because I feel like the main character has this, like, unhealthy attachment to him. And I get that he's her brother, but still, just kill the bastard. Oh my god. I'm gonna finish Judgment and Death, which is the in-depth book that I'm on for my reread. It's number 11, I think. It's actually I can talk. I sped through Witness in Death, but Witness in Death was hard for me to get through because the whole time I'm like, I'm so glad this asshole is dead. And you're not supposed to feel that way because the guy was murdered, but I'm just like, he's such a douche, and I'm so glad he's dead. Luckily, I don't have that problem with Judgment and Death yet. I'm hoping that it doesn't turn out that the people in Judgment and Death are bad people. Although one of the guys that died is a bad person. He's a racist, sexist asshole. And so I'm like, I'm so glad you're dead. But at the same time, I'm like, am I supposed to be happy that he's dead? Because he's a cop. But he's also a racist, sexist asshole. He's just a bad person, so I'm glad he's dead. And me being glad he's dead has nothing to do with him being a cop. But, you know, it's complicated. I have a complicated feelings about this dickbag. I'm gonna hopefully finish Secrets in Death. I can feel my grandmother judging me from the afterlife, but in a loving way, because she wasn't like a judgmental evil person. Because I haven't finished Secrets in Death and I've had it for 2 months. But, you know, hey, I got fired from my job. Had to deal with all that shit. And still struggling with the whole signing up for unemployment thing. Oh my god. And so all this stuff is happening. Like, the only reason I do these podcasts is because they help me de-stress. Which is probably why I go off topic a lot. No one else is listening to me. I started The Shelters of Stone, which is the second to last book in the Earth's Children series, which started with The Clan of the Cave Bear. My goal is to finish it and The Land of the Painted Caves by the end of this month, because that will mean that I have started and finished the entire series in less than a year. And this will be a big deal for me because it took me like 3 or 4 tries to read and finish the first book. And the first time I tried it, I was 15. And I didn't, and so that was like 13, almost 14 years ago. So if I can finish the whole series before the end of the month, that would be awesome. So, cross your fingers, root for me, and then I'm going to try to finish The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. But as I mentioned in my November wrap-up, I'm actually having a little more issue than I expected dealing with the mental illness aspects of the storyline. Also the fact that I know the quote-unquote secret about Jude, and also the fact that I'm glad that Claire's dead. Or is it Rachel? Shoot. I forget. No, Rachel's the friend. Claire. I'm glad that Claire is dead. And I think we're supposed to feel bad that Claire died. Like, the thing is that, Michelle Hodkins refers to Mara as a serial killer. And that's, like, the attitude that the narrative is trying to give you. And I'm like, she's not a serial killer. Like, literally, she is not a serial killer. Do you even know what a serial killer is? She is not a serial killer. And so there's, like... So that's bothering me, too, actually, now that I think about it. The whole thing with Claire and Jude, I'm like, I'm so glad Claire's dead, and I hate the surprise plot twist with Jude because you're an asshole, Jude, and I want you to suffer for all eternity in hell forever and ever and ever and ever. And it's nice that you loved your sister, but... Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna try to finish The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer this month, but I make no promises. And then books I want to start and read this month. Beast Made of Night by Tochi Onyebuchi, because I got it when it came out on Halloween, and I've been wanting to read it, but I haven't been able to finish anything, and I don't have an audiobook, so I have to read it by eye? I don't know. I have to read it, like, the hard copy, and I don't really have a lot of time to do that. That's why I listen to audiobooks. And it's just, I'm so upset because it sounds so good, but it also sounds really dark, and it seems like it's going to take me a while because it's going to be really dark. Like, I find now as I'm getting older and, like, more mentally healthy in a lot of ways that I am, at the same time, becoming more sensitive to things that touch on the reasons why I wasn't mentally healthy to begin with, when I was much younger, and so that might be an issue when I read Beast Made of Night. So I may not be able to finish it by the end of the month. It may be, like, Wicked Like a Wildfire, and I may not be able to finish it, you know, quickly because it triggers me. I don't know. I haven't started it yet. It's so pretty, though. It's so pretty. I need to read it, and Tochi Onyebuchi's a nice man. I feel so bad that I haven't read it. Oh my god. And then, of course, because I want to finish the Earth's Children series, I need to read The Land of the Painted Caves by Gene M. Owell. It's the last book in the series. I need to read... Well, actually, that's really the only things I need to read. I need to review a lot of my spooky books that I have already read, and I need to review them for Decemberween. But reading wise, other than those two things that I just mentioned, the only things I want to read really are all Christmas related. And I know people are probably like, ugh, Christmas. But hey, guess what? It's December 1st. I get to talk about the books that I want to read for Christmas. So I really want to read Kringle by Tony Abbott, which is like the origin story of Santa Claus. Now, granted, Santa Claus is based in a great part on Saint Nicholas, the actual saint. So like I think it was Lorien that said that she didn't like origin stories for Santa Claus because he already has an origin story because of Saint Nicholas. But I actually kind of like them because when I was a kid, I watched, I want to say like in 1995 or maybe 96. It couldn't have been 94, I don't think, because Nickelodeon, because Cartoon Network did this movie, and in 94 they had just started, and so I don't think they had the capital or like the project expansion room to do a movie like this. But they did an animated version of L. Frank Baum's The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, which is an origin story for Santa Claus. It's very like in the same sort of style as The Wizard of Oz, but minus the political commentary. And so when I watched the movie, that was like, I know that this isn't where, when I watched it, I was like, I know this is not where Santa Claus comes from, but this is really neat. So that's actually one of the books that I want to read because I finally have my own copy. It's staring at me from the shelf. It's so pretty. I really want a really, really nice, like, Barnes & Noble copy of this book, but they don't have one. And I don't know why, because they've got copies of frickin' Peter Pan in all of its racist, sexist glory. I love Peter Pan. I'm just gonna say, I love Peter Pan, but it is also racist and sexist, so I don't know why they don't have that. L. Frank Baum is, like, super famous. Everyone knows who he is. He wrote The Wizard of Oz. Or at least, even if people don't know who he is, they know what he wrote, which is The Wizard of Oz. So I'm just like, what? Whatever. Anyway, that's like a rant for a different day. I want to... So I love Santa Claus origin stories. So because of that, I want to read Kringle by Tony Abbott, which is a different Santa Claus origin story. I want to read The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus by L. Frank Baum, which is a Santa Claus origin story. And I want to read Nicholas St. North Battles the Nightmare King by William Joyce. William Joyce is the guy who wrote The Guardians of Childhood. You guys might have heard of the movie Rise of the Guardians with Chris Pine and Alec Baldwin and Hugh Jackman is the voice of the Easter Bunny. That movie is based on the Rise of the Guardians, or the Guardians of Childhood series, sort of. The origin of Jack Frost is very different in the movie than it is in the books, from what I understand. And there are characters in the books that are not in the movie, like Mother Goose and Mother Nature. And like I think Father Time is there's an old wizard character who I think is going to end up becoming Father Time. He's not Father Time yet, but I think he's going to be Father Time. Anyway, that's not really, like, the characters aren't important. But so, like, the movie is based sort of on the book series. And so the Nicholas St. North Battles the Nightmare King is the first one, because I want to reread them. The series isn't done yet. William Joyce took a break because, unfortunately, his wife died. Not, like, super recently, but recently enough that, like, he's not, like, writing right now. And his wife inspired a lot of the female characters in the books. So, like, I can totally understand why he would need to take a break. But I do want to reread them. There's 4 books in the series, and then three picture books. And I want the Nicholas St. North is the origin story of Santa Claus back when he was hot and young. He's like 25, and he fights with swords, and he has like the evil genie goatee and a mustache. And I'm totally not usually one for facial hair, but in the pictures in the book, I keep saying the video of the movie. I keep trying to say that, and I'm like, no, pictures in the book. Pictures in the book, he's like super hot. Unfortunately, he gets like really fat in the 3rd book or the 4th book. I forget which book. In one of the books, he apparently got really fat, and so because of that, he can't fight anymore. And so that's the only reason why that's unfortunate, is because, like, which I feel like he's gonna get around that later. And that also could be, somebody could be lying to me, whoever said that. Because in the movie, Rise of the Guardians, he's, Santa Claus fat, like you're expecting, and he still fights with these, like, 2 gargantuan cavalry sabers, and he's like popping in and out of chimneys, and fighting demons. It's, like, super neat. And yeah, Santa Claus fighting demons is, like, the best thing. And then I want to read The Legend of Holly Claus by Brittany Ryan, which I actually started a couple years ago, and I got about, like, a 4th of the way through, and it's about the daughter of Santa Claus, how she was born. It's sort of like Santa Claus meets Sleeping Beauty, because when she was born, this evil wizard, of course, because it's always, when a princess is born, the evil whatever gotta pop up and do the cursing. This evil wizard popped up and he's like, hey, I'm gonna marry your daughter when she's older, because, reasons. And Santa Claus was like, no, you're not, because you're an evil sorcerer. Hold on, my roommate's standing right next to me. Okay, she just needed to show me something, not that big of a deal. What was I talking about? So yeah, the evil wizard is like, I'm gonna marry your daughter, and Santa Claus is like, no, you're not, and the evil wizard is like, yes, I am, and just to prove it, I'm gonna rip your daughter's heart out, which he actually does right there. I don't know how the kid doesn't die, but he literally just because he took the baby out of her crib, he shoves his hand through her chest, rips her heart out, covers it nice, and then shoves it back in. Totally straight out of a fairy tale, right? And he's like, so now her heart's gonna be ice cold and evil, just like mine. Well, yeah, that's not how that shit works. And so that's not what happened. Instead, she just is like, has to be cold all the time, and she's like not affected. She's like Elsa from Frozen, except without the ice powers. And so it's not that big of a deal. But now, because like, to keep her safe, to keep her from getting kidnapped, Santa Claus had to put like a dome around the kingdom of whatever it's called, and keep her from getting kidnapped by this evil sorcerer when he realizes that, oh shit, my stupid evil plan didn't actually work. Fuck me. And so, like, Santa Claus isn't delivering presents anymore and stuff. I don't know. It's like, it sounds like really silly, but, okay, she gets her heart ripped out, but that's not that big of a deal, because obviously there was, like, no blood or anything, so it's obviously this is a book for small children. No, it's not. First of all, this book is, like, the size of a dictionary. Now, granted, the text is, like, really big, but it's not that big. Okay, this book is huge. It's a chapter book. It's, like, the same kind of style, sort of, as The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, except way bigger. And in the first, like, 100 pages, first, like, 50 pages, one of the main characters has to watch his wife being mauled to death by ravens, and literally he has to watch her get her eyes ripped out. And then she's eaten alive by ravens. Okay? There's actually a picture in the book. I mean, you don't see her in the picture, thank God, that'd be terrible. Well, actually, you kind of do, but you don't see, like, in detail. What you see is, like a way back shot of her in, like, this mound of ick. And then the husband, he's actually their wolf, so the mate, is, like, all, like, he's all messed up. Like, he's blind in one eye, and, like, his foot's broken, and blah, 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 blah. It's so bad. I was like, this book is for children? Oh my god! But I totally want to read it. And then the last book I want to read this month that I haven't started yet is Winter Spell by Claire the Grand, which I've had on my shelf for like 4 years. Yes, I am so terrible. I have so many books. I was actually rewatching an actual video I did of myself back in, I want to say, like 2014, where I was talking about how I had this book, not any of the books on this list, that I wanted to read because I'd had it for a year and I hadn't read it, and so I was planning on reading it that month that I made that video, and I still haven't read that book. I'm a terrible person. So, Winter Spell by Claire the Grand, which is from what I understand, it's a steampunk retelling of the Nutcracker. Like, or a steampunk expansion of the Nutcracker? Anyway, Nutcracker's Christmassy. I love the Nutcracker. I wish more people would do Nutcracker stuff, but they don't. That's an invitation for all you authors retelling shit. Please give me a Nutcracker retelling. I need them. And then those are all the things that I'm going to read. And then podcasts that I'm going to be doing this month. I'm going to be finishing out the Novemberween / Decemberween reviews. So, And I Darken by Kirsten White, which I actually finished recently, so I didn't need to reread it for Novemberween. That's a retelling, that's an alternate history retelling, sort of the life of Dracula, the actual Dracula, not the vampire, but I figured it would, it fit. For if Dracula had been born a woman. The Iron Thorn, Nevermore, Nosferatu, The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and then I'm going to be, those reviews, and then I'm going to be doing reviews, if I can finish them, for Dampier, Kringle, The Legend of Holly Claus, The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, Nicholas St. North, Battles of the Nightmare King, and Winter Spell. And then I'm also going to be doing winter and Christmas book tags, because I love to do book tags. I don't know, I love to talk, I'm sorry. And I know I talk with, oh, that was my computer, in case anyone heard that ding. And I know I love to talk with things in my mouth, but it's because of my allergies. I have to have cough drops and other medicines in my mouth at random times, and I can't really work around that because it's not really on a schedule. It's because it's just whenever I need them. Need them. So the tags I want to do the Winter is Coming book tag, Winter Wonderland book tag, the Joy of Christmas book tag, Festive Christmas book tag, the 12 Days of Christmas book tag, because that's 5 book tags right there, so that's one for every week. And then on Christmas Day, I want to put up the All I Want for Christmas book tag, specifically on Christmas Day. And then also that way I can wish you guys a happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, whatever. There will be other little blurby thingies for you guys, like little mini podcasts for, wishing you guys like Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa and oh my god, I'm so bad. That one Muslim festival that's in December. Oh shoot, Ramadan? I can't remember. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. All the different holidays that like other people are celebrating who are not me. Just so like you guys know that I'm thinking about you, because I don't want you to feel like excluded. Basically I want everyone to have a happy December. Hear that, fate? Give my listeners a happy December. I demand it. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hit the like button if you love me. Subscribe for more of me, or you can leave a comment down below. And don't forget to check me out on 8 Tracks, Archive of Our Own, Blogger, DeviantArt, Etsy, fanfiction.net, fictionpress.com, filmfiction.net, Goodreads, Patreon. Oh, real quick side note, the reason you guys should check me out on Patreon is because I update a lot more regularly than on anywhere else, because that's what that's for. Pinterest, Tumblr, Twitter, Wattpad, YouTube, or you can buy me a coffee. And I'll paste all of those links in the doobly-doo down below. Thanks so much, and I love you all. And a special shout out to my patrons, Lorien, Whitney, Cynthia, Chelsea, Belle, and Amanda. To get a shout out, support me on Patreon, and always remember, you guys are loved. And I don't just mean my patrons, I mean all you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye!